Welcome back, everybody. Now today I'm taking a look at a blender called the BlendJet 2.0. It's an update from the one I reviewed a year and a half ago. Let's see if it works and if it's better than the original in today's video. All right, so some of you may remember my original BlendJet review back in 2019, back in the good old days, right? I really didn't give it a great review, and there was two reasons for that. Number one was that the motor seemed very weak, and number two, the capacity was pretty small. Fast forward to 2020, I recently received an unsolicited package in my P.O. box containing the BlendJet 2.0. Now, because it's an unsolicited package, this is not a sponsored post, it just happened to come to me. I'm gonna give it a fair review, but it does seem like they may have actually fixed the problems with the original. This is a more powerful motor and larger capacity, so I have high hopes for the BlendJet 2.0. First up, let's take a look at some of the features before we get started. All right, so here they are. The original BlendJet was only 12 ounces. This one bumps it up to 16. The new BlendJet features measurements on the side. The original did not have that. They both have straps on them. The original BlendJet used a micro USB connection. The new BlendJet, USB-C. The original BlendJet was 5 volts, 1 amp, 6 watt hours. The new BlendJet, 5 volts, 2 amps, 14.8 watt hours. And I think the new one has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, while the old one had 2,000, I believe. So they've definitely upped the battery, they've upped the motor, so that bodes well for the new BlendJet. Weight-wise, they feel about the same. I know the new one is 1.34 pounds, which is about 0.6 kilograms. I don't know the weight of the other one, but they're pretty close. The only feature missing from the new one that the old one had was the original had a built-in strainer. The new one has omitted that feature. The new one is also supposed to be water resistant. I should also point out that in the package they sent to me, they did include some accessories. They have this insulated sleeve, which I looked up on the website, which is 15 bucks. A lot of people have said, why don't you just make it at home and put it in an insulated container, which makes sense. So they've actually addressed that by having an insulated sleeve, which it fits perfectly into. They also have an insulated tote, which I believe they sell for 30 bucks. What I found interesting on the website is they have these JetPacks, which are pre-made smoothies. And these supposedly have real fruit in them. All you have to do is just add water and you have a full smoothie. I'm gonna definitely try one of these out. It's hard for me to say smoothie now without thinking of the Dax Flame Smoothie Madness show on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not, but it's interesting. It's about a 1 hour charge and you get about 15 blends. They have 3 modes. Blend mode, which is 1 press, which will go for about 20 seconds. Pulse mode, which will repeatedly pulse. And then you have lock mode. So when you're drinking, you don't activate the blender, which is a nice feature. First, very minor test here. Let me just see which one's louder between the original and the new one. Sounds like a dentist drill. 2.0. Different frequency, but about the same. Let me put them on at the same time, see which one's louder. About the same volume. The blade for both of them looks similar. This is the 2.0. That's the 1.0. They're very, very similar blades. Very similar. The first thing you're supposed to do is clean it. So you're supposed to add water, a drop of soap, and see what happens. All right, I've got 1 drop of soap and full of water. Oh, it's leaking. Oh, it's leaking. It's leaking out of the side. It's leaking. All right, I'm not gonna blame them for that. Let me tighten that more. Can't get it right the first time, right? Not leaking. Cheers. No, just kidding. All right, we have a nice, fresh, clean BlendJet 2.0. First thing I'm gonna do is try one of their JetPacks and see how that works. That should be a very simple test. It's not really gonna push the motor too far. Let's try this one. All right, so 8 ounces of water. I think these JetPacks are about $3 or $4 each. Oh, it smells good. Blend for 2 full cycles until BlendJet automatically stops. Here we go. Cycle number 1. Hands-free, that's nice. All right, cycle number 2. Got high hopes. And I should say, I don't ever enjoy giving a bad review, so I'm not like I'm rooting against this to do badly. I actually root for these products. So I'm rooting for the BlendJet 2.0. There wasn't much to blend, but it looks well blended. There were chunks in that packet. You couldn't really tell because it was dark, but there were chunks in there that seemed to be blended. Let's see. There's no chunks. It's not gritty. Texture-wise, it's good. I don't know if the flavor is really something I would get again, but it's not bad. It's not gritty. It's not chalky. The texture is perfectly fine. I'll show you this last little bit here, what it looks like. Yeah, it's very smooth. It did a good job. Now I just lobbed it a softball for the first round. We're gonna get harder as the tests go on. Let me clean this out and move on to round number 2. All right, it's time for round 2. Now, the BlendJet 2, I just topped off and fully charged it up. The BlendJet 1, I've charged up completely. So what I'm gonna do here is, in one of their promotional videos, they show them blending up fruit and vegetables just in water. Now, the reason they do that is not to make a drink like that, but they're actually showing how well it blends. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the 2 BlendJets side by side and see how much of a difference there really is. For my first test, I'm gonna do some baby carrots. I'm gonna put 8 ounces of water in each. I'm gonna put the same number of baby carrots, hit the button and see what the difference is. 8 ounces in each BlendJet. I got 5 baby carrots. 5 baby carrots. This should be exciting. Well, maybe, we'll see. Well, I intended to do them at the same time, but the BlendJet 1 did not cooperate. The BlendJet 2 looks very well blended. Let me see if I can get this one to work. There's one carrot stuck in there, it didn't like it. Now it really is stuck. So you can see why the first BlendJet did not impress. It couldn't even get past 1 baby carrot. Come on, BlendJet 1. Oh, so bad. It just spun half a rotation and stopped again. That's why I didn't like it, but forget the BlendJet 1, forget it. It's already got a bad review. The BlendJet 2 did not do that. Look at this. That is well blended. Let me pour it into a glass so you can see what it looks like. All right, there are some chunks in the bottom, but I mean, compared to the first BlendJet that couldn't even do a full rotation before it stopped, there's a huge difference. I really want to make this work. And it's also leaking too. I got carrot water on my counter. It's just a disaster here. Come on. I'm spilling. I stand by my original BlendJet review, especially after this. Just not good. So that concludes the BlendJet 1's appearance in this video. It's done. It's done. We're gonna move on to more BlendJet 2 demonstrations because I was much more impressed by the carrots on the BlendJet 2 than the BlendJet 1. I'm just curious. That's not good. I do like carrot juice. I don't like this. It's like really watery carrot juice, but it's a good demonstration, I guess. Let's try some ice cubes next. The BlendJet 1 failed miserably on the ice cubes in my original review. Let's see how the BlendJet 2 does. Based on the carrots, I'm actually kind of optimistic. We have 7 ice cubes. Pulling for the BlendJet this time. Come on. It's a bit shaky, but it's doing it. All right, let's see what we got here. Whoa, the BlendJet 2 did the ice quite well. I have no complaints about it. I'm very happy that they actually were able to improve on the first one. I'm feeling better about it. I'm gonna do more tests, but I'm actually quite optimistic after doing these few tests with some much more difficult things than the BlendJet 1 could handle. So I'm gonna sit on this for a day. Tomorrow I'll come back and try another round after I've gone over these results, and I can see what else I can come up with for the final test for the BlendJet 2. All right, for day number 2, I'm gonna try one of the recipes on their website. I should say that this is not supposed to be a replacement for a full-size blender, but because I know how the comments are gonna go, I'm gonna try a full-size blender anyways. I'm gonna compare it against this giant NutriBullet, which is 1200 watts. Kind of a David and Goliath thing there. And speaking of David and Goliath, my original video, my friend and trainer Kyle was in there. And
What's up, guys?
He's gonna help me out with the David and Goliath portion of this video and testing out the BlendJet 2 recipe.
Back at it again.
Do you have any questions about the BlendJet 2? I know you haven't really seen, you remember the original.
Yeah.
I know you did not like that one very much.
Yeah, this one isn't gonna do much for anybody. Next question would be the price then. Is it twice the price?
That's the thing. I haven't really gone into that. Their website lists it at retailing at $99, but it's on sale for $50. But it seems like it's always on sale for $50. So it's like, I don't know if it's always on sale for $50 or if it's just.
And how much was this one?
That was $40. The original was $40.
Okay, so like $10 more.
If it's $40 versus $50, that's one thing. $40 versus $100, I would probably not pay for that. But right now it's $50. So all right, so we got the David and Goliath blenders. Because you're already a Goliath person, you can be the David blender.
I'll use the little baby one.
Yeah, and I'm going to be the Goliath blender. Now it is 1200 watts. It's not going to be a fair test, but I'm thinking the BlendJet 2, maybe it'll be a respectable showing compared to a full-size blender. I'm still not sure about taking it on hikes, because what are you going to take bananas in your backpack with you?
Yeah,
but,
chopped up too. Right?
Yeah, but maybe like on a boat, you know, or outside. You know, there's people, I've read a lot of comments, people debate whether you need a portable blender or not. The merits of a portable blender might not be worth debating.
I know a lot of people have been using them for protein shakes too, when they don't want to have to shake up all their stuff. They want to just put it in and get a perfect blend.
That's true.
After the gym.
In fact, after our recipe, let's try one of their packets. It's not protein, but it's a smoothie packet.
Yeah, that'd be similar.
See how that goes. All right, so let's add a half a cup of orange juice.
My expectations are not high, let me tell you that.
Well, you had a bad first experience with the original.
It was about as bad as it can get. It just stopped working, so.
All right, so here is your half cup of orange juice. I'll let you do it. Now, the reason I had Kyle in my original video is because he does make a lot of shakes and smoothies. And he definitely has a lot of experience with blenders, so I wanted to get his second opinion.
Every day, baby.
That's why I had him, and because he had a lot of comments in my original video, I figured it'd be nice to have him back. So
yeah. Glad to be back.
All right, so next up is one banana chopped up.
See, that's the thing I don't understand. If you got to chop it up, you're doing that at home, right?
Right.
You're not going to be like in the parking lot of the gym, like chopping bananas in your car.
That's true. That's true. We could put it in not chopped up if you want to try it.
Why don't we just do it in half so it fits?
Half, okay.
And then
Here, you can take that one.
And then see, because if they say that it's twice the power, shouldn't have a problem with a banana, right? I mean, it's about as soft a fruit as it gets. So.
All right. So I don't even think I need to do it because you're supposed to blend after the first step to make room, basically.
Yeah.
I don't think you even really need to do that with this big blender.
Not with the big one, no.
So I'll let you go. Make sure it's tight, because the first time I did it leaked.
Oh boy, you don't want it leaks.
All you have to do is press the button once, and then it should go on its own. You don't have to hold it down or anything.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, it's not getting the blades. Isn't getting it.
It's not getting it.
No, it's not getting it.
There we go. Give it a little shake.
All right, yeah.
So it's spinning. Okay.
I mean, it
made room.
It made room, and not only that, but also half the time it wasn't even the blade, so we kind of got a half a cycle, and it still kind of did it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll say that it's
still a little chunky, but it's not bad
compared to the first one, which didn't even do its job. Much better. All right. So the next thing you're supposed to do is just a handful of pineapple. All right. I'm gonna.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, it's doing its thing.
We're making progress. We're making progress. Yeah, yeah.
So it just goes through the cycle?
20-second cycle, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so now we have mango chunks next.
Oh, these are a little frozen as well.
They're frozen.
Oh, this is going to be the test.
We're not going easy on them.
Yeah, we're not going easy.
We're going to make. I did ice cubes yesterday, so if it can do ice, it should be able to do mango.
It handled the ice pretty good?
It did.
Interesting.
All right, so I'll put some in mine. I'm going to do mine with you this time, since mine's done.
I have a feeling it's going to struggle with this one.
We have doubt. I'm just going to put mine on low. Ready to go, let's go.
I think it did pretty good.
He's impressed. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it did pretty good. Wow.
Now this one was only on low. I was trying to make it as fair as possible.
I think it did really well with the frozen mango. No grate this time? Remember
they took the grate out.
Smart move.
That wasn't useful anyways.
Smart move.
Oh, I see a few chunks, but
yeah, a couple chunks. Not bad though. Cheers.
Cheers. Not bad, huh?
Yeah, I didn't get any chunks.
I mean, just compared to the first one, I mean, that's a huge difference.
Compared to the first one, massive difference. I mean, the first one wouldn't have even spun with the banana.
Right.
So power is definitely there.
Yeah, I think that what I was going to say is that people that saw the commercial for the first one were probably going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But I think if people see the commercial for this one,
yeah,
they probably won't be, because it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, when I saw the commercial on Instagram, it was saying like twice the power and more battery life, and it was bigger, and it got my attention. I was like, yo, we need to do another video. It's game time. So I'm impressed.
All right, good. Well, while you're here, let's try one of these. Let's try one of these. Let me clean it out. And these, by the way, I don't know if I said it the first time, but these actually have chunks of like dried fruit in there, so it's not just powder. Fortunately, they also included measuring lines on the outside. They didn't have in the first one, so we can just measure out 7 ounces of water.
Another upgrade.
So, another upgrade.
I'm impressed.
You know, people are going to see us saying all these nice things about it, thinking it's a sponsored post, which is not a sponsored post, by the way.
Definitely not.
We have about 7 ounces of water and ice, 1 ounce of ice.
How much are these? Are these pricey?
These are like $3.
$3? Yeah. Worth it if you're like hiking or somewhere where you can't make a smoothie.
Yeah.
Sounds like it got all the ice, yeah?
I don't hear any more ice.
I don't hear any more ice. All right, let's try it out. And I'm sure you could just add protein powder to this, too.
You could, yeah.
Make it have more protein, a little more substance.
Yeah.
Well, it looks creamy.
Yeah, it does. Let's see what we think here.
Oh, that's tasty.
Is it?
That's good.
Is it really?
Dude. BlendJet.
Hey, you know, I give them credit because they kind of put out an inferior product before. They went back at the drawing table. They came back with something that actually worked much better. So.
I don't think they were ready, but now they did their homework and they put out a good product.
They listened to the consumer complaints and they made the right. I think we may have had a small part of that. But,
yeah, maybe.
I think they listened to the complaints and they actually took them to heart and made the right changes. So I'm
Cool, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks a lot. And and I'll link Kyle's Instagram, right?
Yeah.
I never know what social media site's big nowadays. So.
Yeah, who knows? Follow me for whatever reason, no particular reason.
I'll link his Instagram below, and I appreciate it, and I'll see you at the gym.
Thanks, man. See you soon.
See you, man.
Cool.
Before I wrap this thing up, I want to see how many blends I can really get out of the BlendJet 2. With Kyle, I got 5. I haven't charged it again, so let's keep going and see how many I can get. I've just got some ice in here. Let's see. Now I'm only putting a couple of cubes in there. I'm not loading it up with ice, so it's only a few ice cubes and mostly water. But this is number 15 and it's still going. Well, the good news is that after 15 blends, it has lost some of its power. I can just tell from the way it sounds, but it's still going. So they said 15 blends, that's probably on the low side. Oh, it's definitely slowing down now at 24. 24 seems like it might be the extent of its usability. For number 30, this is gonna be my last one. I'm gonna try some baby carrots in the ice water. Just to celebrate the fact that it's still blended, although it's struggling. Take a drink. Nice cold carrot water. I don't think I need to go any further. I think I'm ready to wrap this thing up now. Let's talk about some pros and cons of the BlendJet number 2. Now, my original BlendJet review, the 2 cons were that it was too small and it was too weak, and they've certainly fixed both of those. I'm very happy that they went back to the drawing board and came up with a product that lived up to the expectations. So I do think that if you like what you see in the advertising for the BlendJet 2, you won't be disappointed as long as you keep a couple of things in mind. Number 1 being that a portable blender isn't really for everybody. There are certain situations where it makes sense, like out on a boat. Other situations, like hiking, it really doesn't. You can just blend it at home and put it in an insulated container. But for those of you who do want and need a portable blender, this, I think, is a pretty good choice. Something else to consider is this is not a replacement for a full-size blender like my NutriBullet, which holds 64 ounces and has 1200 watts. You're supposed to get about 15 blends per charge. I'm showing double that, although it was really struggling at the end there. But I do think the BlendJet 2 is a resounding success compared to the first one. It's a pretty good portable blender, and I think if you like what you see in the advertising, you will like the BlendJet 2. I also should thank Kyle one more time for coming by. I'll have a link to his Instagram in the description below. If you've used the BlendJet or the BlendJet 2, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.